Hello and welcome to What to Watch 10. This is obviously a different format. I'm doing this in one take, as you can see. And I'm doing that so you can see the production, a little bit of the production that goes into it. This is what it looks like if I don't edit it and I just do it in one take. I do, however, I'm not going to do stream of consciousness. I do have a list of topics. And first of all, I want to explain what's around me a little bit. Obviously, I have a green screen. You can see I've zoomed way back. Up high, I've got some fun names for this stuff. Got the bright lights of fame and the casting couch. The fun names came from my friends, and actually the couch came. Thanks, Aaron, for the couch. And I'm here to explain why I'm here, the site a little bit. And so here we go. It goes back to 2002 when I stopped watching TV, and I found that it was kind of an experience. It wasn't just something that stopped happening. It was kind of an experience to stop watching TV. It was kind of like living in a different world. At first, I found that I felt like I didn't know what was going on, and then over time that void filled in a little bit with the internet, but that void filled in, and I realized that you're going to be exposed to a specific amount of information, and it just depends on which information. So if you cut out TV, it's not less information, it's just different information. So you're no longer paying attention to the television at all. So that was that. I wrote about that in a blog post when I got a Nielsen survey in August of 2014, and you can see a little bit of my opinion about television. And the reason I bring that up is I'm doing this reflection video because I didn't write anything down as I stopped watching television. So, but making videos has been somewhat of a similar experience. I noticed that I view television already after even just a couple months. I view television differently, and that's part of the reason I'm doing it. I have 5 viewers, and it's still worth doing because it's just an experience. So, blogging, another similar experience. I learned to make a website. Travis, thank you for helping me make a website. He showed me how at Pete's Place in July of 2013. And it was January 2014 when I made my first blog post. And when I first did it, I knew it was public around the world. So when I hit publish, I was all nervous. I thought I was going to get phone calls from my friends or something like that. And I'm proud of the post. It was the ultimate commuter bike, and I still have the bike, and it's an enduring post. I reference it myself when I lose something or break something on my bike, and I want to get something new. I go back to that post, find something out about it. So I'm proud of my first post, but I hit publish, and I thought I was going to get a bunch of phone calls from my friends, like criticism of this post because it was available around the world, and nothing happened. So then I just kept posting because I kind of enjoy it, and I'm up to, this is my 172nd post, and I'm enjoying it. And then in December of 2015, I wrote to blog or not to blog, and I must have liked blogging because my answer was to blog, and I gave 5 reasons why to blog, and I stand by that, and now I say to vlog. So, next subject. Oh. Throughout that time also, I've been looking for company. Anyone else who wants to make a website. I wrote my web design post in February 2014, and I've helped several people make websites, and I'm glad I have. And then that is also why I have the Friends Websites link there at the top of the page. Anybody who makes a website, I put a link to it. I check back every once in a while and see how the website's going. And that's been fun. And then also a lot of feedback I get on my website is that it's confusing. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that if you're not making a website like this, it can be a little bit confusing. A lot of it's on me also. I jump around subjects a lot, and I'm looking to tie that together a little bit here also, and I'll get to that in a second. Ownership versus renting. I own the site. NathanRoofing.com is my site, just like Larry Page owns Google.com. Obviously, that's a different extreme example, but Larry Page owns Google.com, Mark Zuckerberg owns Facebook.com. We're all renters on those sites if we use those sites. But if you buy your own site, which is, let's get into the cost. If you buy your own site, it's $15 for the site for a year. It's about $15 a year for the site and about $5 a month to host it. And then if you want to host videos also, that's about another $5 a month. So it's about $10 a month. And then I'm on video. I'm doing video here. All of the equipment that I have to make video, to include the computer and that's required to do the editing, is about $3,200. That's tripods, lights, camera, lenses, sound equipment, everything. $3,200, which sounds like a lot, but people spend a lot more than that on video games. And it's $50 a month for the internet, but most of us have internet anyway. And it's about another $50 a month for the video editing software. So that is a pretty expensive piece right there. But it's $50 a month, and that's the total amount. And you can make videos that are available. They're available around the world. Whether somebody watches them or not is the question, but they're available. And that capability it's the first time that capability has been in existence, probably in the history of humankind. That's a big deal. I'm participating in that. It's a little dramatic, but it's the way it is. So I finally put the kind of the finishing touches on my website, and by that I mean I didn't know what my blog was going to turn into when I first started doing it. I just made a post, and now 172 posts later, actually it was 4 or 5 websites, different websites, because I thought I had to split them up and categorize them. They're all right here in one website now, and I have I've cleaned up my tag system. So I deleted about half the tags, added a few, and I want to explain what the tags are. We'll do it by example. So for example, big news and no news is good news. I post things that I would call news, but they are different from regular news, obviously. Big news is big news events that are happening kind of throughout our lifetimes. For example, the internet. We talk about the internet, but we don't really stop and think about what the internet means for us and how it changes our lives and how different it is from how people lived in history. So the internet, and then also, I forget my other example, but the internet's a great example, and I have a specific post about that. And then no news is good news. I have several more posts about this, and it's essentially what is not changing in the world. We're living in a good time, relatively peaceful time, relatively prosperous time, but if you watch the news, you would never know it. They find the worst 1% of what's going on in the world, and they report on that constantly. So no news is good news. It's just, hey, this is the world, just keeps on going. I don't do political posts normally, but I do consider some of the posts political, and here's what I mean. Politicians are supposed to solve world problems, so my politics posts generally are linked to 2 other tags, education and responsibility, because I believe that educated people taking personal responsibility can solve all the world problems. And a quote I heard, a phrase I heard recently also really resonated with me, and that is, if the argument goes on more than 5 minutes, then both sides are wrong. And we definitely have 2 sides here in the United States, and the argument has definitely been going on for more than 5 minutes, and I think both sides are wrong. So I'll get political there. I think both sides are wrong, and I don't think a whole lot of people disagree with that. Energy. My degree is in electrical engineering, and energy interests me, so I am doing some posts on energy. Entropy. It's a more obscure term. Entropy means, the law of entropy is that the world, things tend toward disorder, and energy is required for complexity. I see it in a lot of things in the world, and I like to bring that out in some of the videos that I recommend. So click that entropy post, entropy tag, and try to link that concept in on those videos. Macro photography and time-lapse photography. When I do photography, I don't like to take pictures of something you can see with the naked eye. The experience is already better that you're there. So all the camera's doing is cropping out the entire experience and putting it into an 18 megapixel image. But a camera can be used to show you a different perspective that you can't see with the naked eye. So for example, macro photography, you can see things way up close, kind of like a microscope or somewhere in between, so you see a really big bug or something like that. And then time-lapse photography, put the camera on something for hours at a time and play it over the course of a few seconds or maybe a minute and see how things change over time. In my opinion, very interesting photography. Modern consumer or consumer, I haven't decided what to call it yet, but in today's society we have unbelievable numbers of options. The numbers of the actual, and my battery's going low, so I'm gonna have to cut. New battery. I was on a roll. Hopefully I didn't lose my train of thought, but I knew that might happen with the battery. Modern consumer or consumer, it's about becoming an educated consumer in a world of many, many options. Reflection. This video is reflection. I probably do one, I guess in 4 years I've done 5 or 6 of them, so that's one every 6 months or so. With what to watch, I plan on doing every 10th video, I'll do a reflection video so that they don't end up so long and keep them a little more concise. But then I'll probably wind them down a little bit too, maybe every 50th video or something like that. But I do plan on continuing what to watch every week. Requests. The request tag is any video where I request content from users. So for example, I showed a drone video and I knew there were other great drone videos out there. I requested drone videos, and thanks Ann, I got a drone video recommendation from you, and I'll be showing that in a future video. Last but not least, the what to watch categories labeled TV 1, 2, 3, etc. I go category by category. There are 10 total categories, and that just keeps me keeps the variety going, so I don't hit one topic all the time. So there's my tags. They finally make sense in the past. So that's kind of the final piece. The structure of the site is there, and I think that officially makes me a blogger now after 4 years. Thanks for watching. I have a few loyal viewers, and I appreciate that, and it's enough to keep me going. I enjoy doing this anyway, so I'm going to keep going. However, if you do want to support, you can subscribe, but also just pick a post that you think somebody might be interested in, even if it's just a single post. You don't have to share the whole site. There's a lot of stuff on here. And share it with somebody who you think might be interested. That helps me out. And then more importantly, not more importantly, but even better would be make your own blog. It's quite an experience to do this. It takes up your if you have extra time on your hands, most people don't, but it can fill in your television time, and it is quite a different experience. My cousin is taking a criticism of TV class, so you can critique this, or you can. I read through the syllabus, and I haven't watched any of the TV that they recommend yet, and I don't think I probably will. I know what it is more or less, but it says that it says to write blog posts. So call up your cousin and get some help from him. Okay, last but not least, this is What to Watch 10, and I'm recommending videos, and I'm finally recommending Rob Morris, More Freedom Foundation. Rob, thanks for your influence, and you're probably the only channel that I haven't missed a video in over a year. I think since I found out about you in October of 2016, so something like that, over a year ago. And the reason I bring up Rob on this reflection video is because Rob and I are, well, Rob has 14,000 subscribers, so quite different, first of all. But second of all, Rob does political videos. I recommended 5 of them. And what I like about Rob, a couple things, I'll just stick to 2. Number 1, Rob is a single person and he believes in what he's saying. That is counter to most of the news that we get, what we would call news that we get on television. Rob believes in what he's saying, number 1. And number 2, Rob puts the news stories in historical context. He takes the time to, I mean, it's only a 5-minute video, but talks about a news story, gives a little bit of historical context, definitely gives his opinion on it as well, but it's a consistent opinion from one person and goes a little bit deeper, i.e. historical context of it. That's all for What to Watch 10. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the feedback. Derek, because of your feedback there on Facebook, I'm going to do What to Watch 11 today and make up for the last couple weeks that I've taken off. And I'll be glad to go back to the regular 1-minute format, and I've got some great videos to recommend over the next 10 videos. Thanks for watching. See you in What to Watch 11.